Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's not my usual day, but I wasn't on yesterday, so I've popped over today. So this is going to be part 2 and hopefully the finale of Forest Girls 2. Hi Connie. So if you're watching this on playback, I usually take a couple of minutes to say hello to everyone because this is a live chat, live show, and people join me in chat, so I have a live show. So how are you, Connie? My chat's frozen. Give me a second, everyone. I have to adjust my camera. So I have to put my hand on stream. Hold on. I have to adjust everything. I have to wait till I come on stream to be able to do this, unfortunately. I can't do this otherwise. So I know this is not a scheduled day, but it is as opposed to yesterday because it was Mum's 60th. So I really want to get this completed if possible. Sorry, everyone, I'm just fiddling with the camera settings and then I will be with you. So I have to put my hand on so that I know that the camera will be okay. And physical therapy, I hope that's going okay, Connie. Right, so the plan for today is I'm going to be using the Supracolors. Hiya, everyone. Hiya, Blue. Hiya, Precious. So I'm going to be finishing off this from Forest Girls 2 by, I think the artist is called aeppol. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then we're going to get into some Happy Mail, which was sent, and we're going to swatch and test. I won't say what they are until a bit later. And then that will be the stream. That'll be a good few hours. Hi, Honor. Hi again, Honor. I was just talking to you. Hi, Kenny. So as I said, anyone watching this on playback, it is a live show. So if you want to skip along to when I start. Hi, Lou. Hiya, Andrea, Amber Lee, Christine, Berenice, Pickle, Debs, Robin, a huge hello. SMC, Elizabeth. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Hi. So as I was saying, my plan today, everyone that's joining me. Hi, Flory. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, dear? Hi, Christy. 1 second. Hi, Joey. Oh, hi. So we're going to be finishing off our Supracolor picture that we were doing from Forest Girl 2 by aeppol. Hiya, Rochelle. We're using the Supracolors by Karan Dash. Oh, I know. So this is an impromptu one. This is a not my usual day. Hiya, is it Panamelli? I don't want to say your name wrong. Oh, Panamil. Hi, Kev. Hi, huge hi to everyone. Good afternoon. So yeah, we're going to do this, and I might as well just dive right on in there. So we were using the picture that is our reference picture. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Hi, Miss. My eyes, skies. I'm so sorry. Let me make that bigger so I can see your names. There we go. I can see your names now. Is it Ember Skies? Yeah, Andrew's. Is that you? Do you want to be called that, or do you want to be called something else? Yeah, Andrew he's got an infection now. Bless him. He's not doing massively great. Ember Skies. Okay. Thank you, Flory. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'll quickly touch upon it and then we'll, get onto this. But he's got an infection in the same leg as the clot. So he's back on in antibiotics now, bless him. So it's just one of those things. Thank you, Blue. Yeah, it's just I couldn't get on yesterday. It was Mum's 60th, so we was down there. Yeah, I know, bless him. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, life throws you stuff. You deal with it. You have a positive attitude, and you somehow fight it. So, you know, there's always going to be good times ahead, even when the bad times hit. There's going to be a silver lining somewhere. So that's how I try to keep a positive attitude with everything. Oh, can you see? Yeah, I tried to do it, Connie, so that it had the, you know, markings the same, and I tried to do like more or less. Now the dress isn't going to be the same because I was doing it a little bit lighter. Hiya, Mum. Who else have I missed? Hi, Desiree. Hi, everyone. Okay, Kenny. Right, so today's plan, as I said, we're going to do this and then we're going to do some Happy Mail by Miss Desiree, bless her. It is cellulitis, Connie. Yeah, it is. He's had it before and he's got it again. It's just his body. The thing is, he's got autoimmune diseases and his system is overactive and can't fight, so it fights against him rather than for him, kind of thing. But you know, that's just, it's just how it is at the moment. We're trying to deal with it as it goes along. He's got an urgent appointment next week, so we'll get there. Right, so we're going to try and match now. So I think I'm going to go for, I'll do the skin last, and I think I'll do the skin improvements. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I have to bring it up and get the lighting right. Okay, let's turn our lighting up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, so we're going to do, I think, the hair, the flowers, and I will do little squirrel first, actually, because he's sitting there. I just forgot he's there. And then we're going to be using all of that. No, she's not, Amberly. No. It's just Mummy Wilkes. Susan Wilkes is my only relative that's in the colouring community. And also one of the ladies in another group. Yeah, I call him Andrea sometimes when I'm, you know, being silly. I've got another relative called Carol Flack, who's my cousin as well in the community. So yeah, there's a couple of us. Okay, so let's zoom a little bit. Okay, nice and sort of clear to what we're doing. Hi, Judy. And I'm going to do this little fella here. So in the original picture, I've got the little squirrel guy sitting, sort of chilling out on her. So we're going to go for that. And then all these little tiny flowers, I'm going to try and do in the yellows, like, you know, like for like. We're going to do like for like. The dress I did in a lighter blue, though, and not so dark. And yeah, we'll go for it. Okay, so I'm going to grab my swatch book and... Yeah, I do that, Andrea. I do it all the time. I just like to wind him up because that's what girlfriends were made for. Okay, so we've got like I want an orange. So we've got, this is my swatch chart. So if we're looking at this little guy here, he's only small. So we're going to go for like this orange colour. Then he's got sort of undertone in the middle of like it's a little bit lighter, so I'd say more of a creamy colour. So we might go for the cream just to like mix in a bit. And then I'm thinking apricot as well. So if we get those, so we need orange. So orange is 030, so 30. Then if I grab the apricot at 041, so sorry about my arm a minute. And then if I grab cream as well, which is 491. And then I will go from there with shading. And I'm going to grab some like russet type colour. So I'm going to go for English red, I think. Yeah, the book is called Forest. Yeah, they are 120 set blue. Connie, the name of it is Forest Girls Colouring Book. I don't know if it's in like foiled writing. I don't know if you can see that. And it's the premium edition. by aeppol, and that's spelled aeppol. And this particular design or image is called Blanket of Spring. I was going to originally change it to like reds and autumn colours, but I thought I kind of want to, for the first time using the Supracolors just on their own, then I wanted to use like on it. Hiya Mim. Ruthie, which palette do I use? This one where I mix my colours. So this is the Caran d'Ache Aqua. This is a mixing palette. It's got a bit of two, and you can mix all your pencils, all your water medium on there, and it's got a bit of two, so it grabs the pencils when you do it. So if you need to mix a colour up, this is perfect, and it will do it first time. I absolutely love this, and this was gifted by a lovely lady called Selena, and I thought about getting it. She got it, bless her, and I didn't know it's coming, and it's the best thing that I've used for mixing colours. Absolutely amazing, so I highly recommend this. Okay, so I can bring the tripod, it's up here. I can bring it down, or if you're good for that, then because I can't zoom in anymore because it's got a zoom and that's about as much as it will go. So I can bring it down if you want to see the small detailing, but for now I'm just going to do a base coat of the orange, and I can bring you down slightly so that you can see a bit more. So just bear with me. Is that a bit better? You can see a bit better. That's better. Because if I zoom too much, you're going to go blurry. If it's like that, you can see. All right, so we'll get stuck in then. I love doing this. This has been so much fun so far. Okay, so this is orange in 030. These are the Supracolor Soft by Caran d'Ache. With the Supracolors opposed to the Pablo pencils, you have this little paintbrush on them, so you know that they're the Aquarel pencils. Hi, Clinton. And then you will, you know, you can use them dry, or you can use them obviously wet, which is what they were designed for. So, oh, I've just knocked the camera. Sorry about that. That was with my head. So I'm going to just, this part of him here, and in the middle, he's got a little white area, but everywhere else. So I'm going like, you don't need a heavy pressure with these, which is the good thing. So just a light lay down to initially start. And I'm going to leave like this middle bit with like, you know, you don't need a lot on there. And he is small, so it is harder to see, unfortunately. But he's tiny. He is so small. He's like a miniature squirrel. So we won't fuss too much with him, but we'll get that colour in there anyway, because we've got to put some lay down. Okay, so very lightly I've put him, and then his little head. Don't forget, tomorrow is Cozy Colouring Night, which is with Jen over at Reading with Parks and myself. Oh, you got 9 to go, Jodie. You're on a mission, girl. Okay, and then I'm going to get English red before I mix in the colour. I'm just going to go where I want some shading. So just on the underneath and add some in. And then we can mix a little bit in. So we're not putting too much of a lay down. Okay. So don't forget, I bring in a bit of cloth. You want cloth if you want to wipe off. And then you start you don't want a heavily saturated brush, because otherwise it will put too much water down. So you can drag the colour, and that's the way to do it. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. You're looking forward to that. I am as well. So I'm just mixing that colour in a bit. Now, I drag from light to dark, and then if I need to put any of the dark colour up, then you can drag that upwards. The water brush I'm using is the Zig Detailer brush, which is got a small tip on it so that hi Yeti, you can drag the colour up and you won't have too much where the brush pulls too much pigment down, because it's a detailer. So I just wipe off as I go along. So I don't want too much on him. And then I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit. So he's just more or less going to be like this little fella, but we've got to darken and deepen him up a little bit. So we might use some russet, but we've got to wait for him to dry a little bit. So while we're waiting for him to dry, on this side, yeah, I'm good. How are you? Is it Brett? Yeti. Her scarf is the greens. I'm not sure if I want to do the greens, so I might change that to like orangish yellow ochre type colours. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to grab like these types of colours, quite autumnal. So I'm going to get the colour golden ochre before we finish off squirrel at 0.33. And I'm just going to bring that colour and pigment up. Hi, Susie. How are you? Hi, April. Hiya. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, everyone. Okay, you prefer Yeti. All right, that's no problem. They're in the background. Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to do that. And we're using the Supracolors, Susie. Have you got in that car yet? Susie passed her test yesterday, her driving test. She passed. So congratulations. She passed a driving test. See that number 3? That's the lucky number. Okay, so we're going to put in that golden ochre before we add some. Yay, see? That's the thing, just get out there on the same day. That's what I did. That's what I did. I got out there, straight out there. Don't have fear, just get out there. The longer you leave it, the harder it is to get in the car otherwise. So how is everyone? What's everyone been doing up to? Anything exciting? And then I'm going to grab Venetian red at 0.62 and I'm going to add a tint of this into the underneath and the shadows. And the same with the underneath of the scarf before we merge it together and add, you know. That's okay, Kimberly. Yeah, it's a great sense of freedom, isn't it, when you learn to drive and... Oh, no, do it, honestly. The independence is amazing. Remember, if there's anything aimed at me, just shove it in capital letters so I can catch it in the corner of my eye. Yeti, it'll be a few years before I'm able to drive. What, through age or just until you're ready? Okay, so I'm going to mix that yellow ochre in first and bring some of that Venetian red into that and blend together so we can sort of get those colours down how we want them. Just complete the page in Colouring Heaven. Especially using the muted palette. Nice. Nice. I do like that. I've just not done anything in it yet. I've been doing a Molly Harrison one. As I said, I'm going to show some Happy Mail. Well, not. It's unbelievable. I'm absolutely over the moon and excited. So we're going to do that after this. And we're going to have some fun with that as well. So just going to, off the end of the pencil, this is the russet, and wipe off, and I'm dragging that colour down. And every time I drag colour in, I'm not oversaturating. The thing is, if you're going to oversaturate the brush, you're going to make the paper buckle, and it will also become too wet. And you can end up peeling the paper. It doesn't matter if it's made for watercolours. With any wet, too wet medium, you can peel paper. Yeah, I've just used the Supracolors and I've got the 120 set. Thank you, Pickle. Hi, Starbucks. How you doing? I hope everyone is good. Thank you, Starbucks. Yeah, we're going for it. I kind of want it just so you can see next to it that we're trying to get it together. I've got some Ribena, not tea this time. Okay, so I really wanted to just not do the green scarf. I wanted to do this autumnal scarf. Put a bit of autumn in it because it is a spring picture, but it's more autumn now. And I am so excited for tomorrow that we're going to do the pan pastels on stream, and we're going to do the Jasmine Beckett. So if you missed my last stream, I'll show you what picture we're going to be doing on stream tomorrow. I'm not sure which picture Jen's picked. Ah, thank you, Susie. Oh, bless your heart. Yeah, I'm having a good time with this one. I know, I love Ribena. Try it, Amberly. Your skills are great. You go for it. I love trying out anything. I love getting stuck into these pencils and these mediums, and oh, it's just so much fun to be had. So this is the russet still, and I'm just merging that in a little bit before we go back to our little squirrel guy. Yeah, join in. Yeah, tomorrow, just to give you a little heads up, I did show this on the last stream, but if you weren't able to join, I'm going to be doing this one because it's a nice big area for the pan pastels, and the entire picture is going to be pans, and I'm going to use Prismacolors for details. So it'll be this picture out of the Jasmine Beckett Halloween colouring book, because it's Halloween cozy colouring night tomorrow. The image is called, is it Ossuary the Collector? Is that how you say it? But it's a nice big area, isn't it? So 1 second, I'll show you if I zoom out a bit. So this will be tomorrow's stream. We're going to be using pan pastels. I'm going to be on at 3 o'clock tomorrow. I was going to do 4. Hi Cheshire, how are you? Hi Grace, how are you? I'm going to be using the pan pastels on that. So I'm so excited for that tomorrow. So that will be good fun. Becca, good luck for your move. Moves are really, really stressful sometimes. Are you colouring in it in, Grace? Hi, Unicorn. How are you doing? So back to the squirrel guy, because I can go into the squirrel now. So the squirrel guy, I'm going to use cream in his little middle area. Oh, I'm so sorry for knocking that camera again. As I said, my head is next to it. I'll just whack my head on it. That's fine. So I'm just putting a bit of cream on there, so it's not white, but it's got some cream on his little chest area. We've got a little area like on there. He's got some white in there. Can you see that? So we're just doing that. And then on the outside, I'm going to get some russet again. So this, instead of Venetian red, I'm getting some russet into him, and then we'll add the detailing in. So just very lightly, so you don't peel the paper. Make sure the paper is dry before you reapply the pencil down, because if you do this over wet paper, you're going to peel it straight off, like immediately. So I'm doing his colours the same as her scarf. I'm just going to sort of muddle that in and blend it into the orange, and we'll reapply some orange. Okay, so we just want that on the outside to initially start. And then I'm going to get my orange. I'm going to get my orange before anything, and I'm going to just put the orange in and just reapply that, make him a bit brighter. There we go. So he's nice and like a bright orange. So yeah, it's really good. That's okay, Desiree. I'll see you soon. Hi, Phoenix. Yeah, the paper is amazing. So anyone who's wondering about the paper, it's a high quality. It's like a 170 gram paper. So it's really, you hear that? It's like a thick card. Now, don't forget, with water medium, you might have a slight buckle. I have the smallest buckle. It's not a lot. It is the smallest amount. So you bear that in mind when you're doing it. But if you don't mind a slight buckle, then, you know, that's fine. However, you don't have to use water medium in this. I am, just because I like the water medium look. But it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I know that anyone that gets this will enjoy it. Now, that is more or less now. I'm going to put the little details on him when that's dry as well. So he's got the little nose and the marking. So for now, we're going to leave that. And in her little scarf, we're going to add some details in as well. So we're going to move on to her hair now. And I'm thinking to go a very dark brown with her hair. More like, we'll go for browns. We'll put some shading in after. But we're going to get, for the most part, just Supracolors down as they are, with no further like colours merged into it. So just bear with me. I'm going to just put these back in, and then we're going to get some browns going. So first colour brown I think I'm going to grab out will be the brown ochre. I'm just going to grab some chestnut. Yeah, we wish you all the best, Becca, with your move. So I've grabbed these browns for now. We'll see what we do. So I've grabbed brown ochre 037, chestnut 057, and umber 049. So that's chestnut 057, brown ochre 037, and umber 049. They're the three colours I've picked out. Now, with the initial laydown, as I've been doing with all of these, I go for the very lightest colour first. In this case, it's the brown ochre at 037. And I'm just going to put a very light coat down. And there's no pattern to this. I'm kind of just going quite, not scratchy or anything, just all over and, you know, laying down some colour, because you'll activate that before we start putting our other colours in and making some shading going on and some details. So we'll add this in first. And there's no real big method to it. You just put colour down. So you can kind of see. Is that good in your screens, everyone? So I'll be doing a giveaway tomorrow on the live stream as well. The monthly giveaway. And don't forget, as I said, anyone that can join tomorrow, I will be on at 3 London time, or between 3 and 3:15. It's a bit earlier than I was scheduled originally. And then Jen will be on after my stream. I will give an hour between. I've missed a little bit of scarf, but that's fine. We can add that in. I'm just putting a very light base coat down. There is more hair, and we can get a Posca pen after and add the wisps. So we might have a little bit more people in the streams tomorrow that can make it, because usually with an event it brings in a little bit more. So it should be good. Nice big sort of social. It's for you to colour as well, guys. Just make sure that you have fun most of all. So I'm just putting this. This is, as I said, the brown ochre 037, which is just the lightest colour, because when you put the water to this, it will automatically make this lighter. Okay, so now I'm going to get my brush. Make sure your brush, I'm going to put it here, make sure your brush is, hi Suzanne, how are you doing? Make sure your brush is relatively dry. You want it slightly wet but not overly saturated. So get your water down to it, and then just ever so slightly just start. There's no, you haven't got to with this do this any other way. Eating tuck spring rolls, you know, you haven't got to do all your shading yet. This is the base coat, so just to get the base started, and then we'll start adding in and dropping in other colors and doing our shading. But to initially start, we just want a base color down, and I'm trying to do this as much as possible in just watercolors, which in our case that we're using this time around is Supracolors, and they are the 120 set. So I'm wiping off pigment a little bit as I go along, and I'm just getting this going. So just be mindful of the face and the skin, because we've still got to do that. Just bringing this in. And the good thing with this is it does change entirely as soon as you activate with water. But it's not like the Inktense. It's not overpowering, and you can manipulate this, whereas Inktense is more permanent as soon as you put the water to it. I'm using the Zig Detailer brush. If you go on to Amazon Pickle, you will have, it's called Kuretake Zig Detailer. We're working on a whip or someone's watching. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, Yeti, I think it's just one of those things. It takes time and practice. I think they're a complete different medium, aren't they? And I think if you're venturing into watercolors for anyone, you've practice first and see how you feel with them and get a cheaper set. You know, you don't have to buy an expensive set to initially start with. You can just get a smaller set, see how you get on with it, and then decide from there. Now, instead of putting the, there we go. Instead of putting the pencil down to the actual paper at the moment, I'm going to grab some of that colour off of the actual pencil and I'm going to put chestnut. Just make sure it's not too. I might just actually do that on a bit of, yeah, I'm not going to do it straight onto there. Bear with me. I'm going to put some onto my palette and then I'm going to add some of the umber. So this is chestnut and umber in the Supracolors. And I'm going to mix those because it makes a bit more of a reddy texture, but not too red. So it kind of makes like this kind of brown. It's like it's got a red tinge to it. That's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to drag some of that colour in. Initially, you've got to wipe off as you go along and drag some down. And that's how we're going to do it. We'll put in some details with dry pencil after. We're just going to add some colour in. So just wipe off as you go along. If you've got too much pigment on your brush, just wipe as you go along and it will add some back in. I'm just mixing it on there and you just with your water brush. So onto the Caran d'Ache palette and just mix. Becca, it's an amazing tool. That palette is great. It's amazing. It can do so much. And that is not, you know, it's not giving it enough credit there. Hi, Bunny. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so we're going to go underneath. And if we want to darken up any more, we can always add a bit of black in. Just drag the pigment down. So when you're adding it in, you drag pigment down. So it's a layering process to get the pigment that you want. And when you first have any pigment down to it, you haven't got to go in full guns blazing. You can just build it up as a process. It's the same with the roots. So if you bring some of that up. Hi, G girl. So just bring that pigment in, wipe off and drag the pigment out so that it doesn't fix. While it's wet, you've got time to sort of muddle it about on your page. So just pull that pigment in. And that's kind of how we're going to keep with this hair pattern. Thank you, Pickle. We've still got to add one more layer in, but we're just getting the layers started. So again, just get your pigment, bring that down a bit. Can you see it all right on your screens? So we'll bring that out there. Wipe off, drag. Just keep dragging, wipe off, drag a bit more so that it blends. And again, we're just going to bring some of that pigment as well over here. Wipe off, drag pigment down. Again, my brush is not saturated whatsoever. And it's just a matter of dragging it out. Yep, it's, hi Natalie, it is on Amazon, Becca. Oh, lovely, Flora. Yeah, right, another, if you can't get this one or you've got a shop nearby, go to someone that's got one of those thin chopping boards and it's got a bit of texture to it that will grab your pencil. And if you do that, you can get the same result. Right, so I'm going to get more of my umber, a little bit more of my chestnut, get some wet going and just mix that back in because I just need a bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to bring some of that pigment up. And it's just this all watercolour. And then we can add shine and, you know, all that other stuff when it's dry. But we're not going to do that right now. We're just getting the pigment down. So we're going to bring some of that over here. And drag that around. Same with getting some more. Just keep dragging the pigment on. That's a bit too wet. Hold on. That's it. Just keep grabbing it back and layering it in, and, you know, you'll get the achieved and desired result eventually. So it dry, because my brush isn't too wet, it will dry relatively quickly. Now I'm just going to get, if I move that along, I'm going to get, this is going to be the next one. Unicorn, it's the same as what I used on the first time round. It's the Supracolors, the Caran d'Ache Supracolors. So that's the umber. And now I'm going to grab the ivory black. And I don't want too much of the ivory black because I want the umber. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of chestnut in with that and drag that in so that it's a darker brown, but it's still brown and not too heavy. Okay, so that's nice and dark. So as long as you can see on the camera. Yeah, Becca, I have just not used mine enough, but you could do. But the Inktenses are not as workable. That's the only thing, because they're a bit more, when you, as soon as you put them to paper, they're kind of permanent because they're an ink. Okay, so I'm going to now bring the darker colour in. Just drag down where I would like the darker pigment to go. So it's more in the middle. And then, oh, the good thing with watercolours as opposed to the Inktenses is that they are more workable. The Inktenses, as soon as they hit the paper, they're very fast drying and they're harder to manoeuvre on your page. Ah, thank you, Nat. Thank you. Yeah, Unicorn, that's a great book for that kind of thing. Thicker papers like the Hannah Carl's on and stuff. Although, like I say, any paper overdone with watercolours are going to buckle. So as long as you don't mind a slight buckling, then, you know, it's all fine. But some people don't like the buckle, but you're always going to have a little bit of one because they're not watercolour paper, are they? They're thicker, but they're not watercolour. Okay, so I'm just dragging out. Remember, that's ivory, black, chestnut, and umber. And I've just mixed the three so that we got more pigment down. And then I'm just sort of dragging that into the other colours so that we've got, you know, a bit of a mix. And we're going to just drag, again, some down here. And then we can always add detailing in when dry with pencil, which is what I'm going to do. And you can do them with the Supracolors. You don't have to change your medium. You can use the Supracolors dry as well. So we can add that in and use the same colours then. Okay, and then we're going to use Posca as well to add in some details, some lines, and just keep going with that. Oh, Connie, you can do quite a lot with that anniversary set. Go for it. Oh, thanks, Lou. You have got good skin colours in that one, Connie. Have a good go with them. Sorry, I just needed a sip of juice then. Okay, so I'm just bringing that down into there. And then I just want a little bit more black in a minute, just to darken up. And then we're going to go onto that palette, a tiny bit of black, the smallest amount. Just adds underneath, just to sort of like make it a bit darker around the edging and also in the root of her hair here, where it probably would be darker. Okay. Right. So for now, I'm just going to let that dry. before we add any further detailing. Hi Leah, how are you doing? Okay, Becca, good luck. Happy packing. If that's possible. Happy packing. Okay. So just zoom you out a second. Okay. So that's just with watercolours so far. Yeah, they're great, Connie, aren't they? I mean, that's my next thing that I'll get myself, that set that you're, yeah, the anniversary one. But the Supracolor Full 120, you can pretty much do everything with. Right, let's add that in there. Let's add that in there. And we will now come back to this little fella and add the details in with a pen. Ah, Susie. It's very exciting. I'm going to do it at the end. I'm not mean, I promise you. Because we've got to then test it. I'm impatient. I'm impatient usually. Okay, so now detailing on this little guy. So I'm going to grab my Copic fine liner at 0.3. And then we're just going to put these little details in. So you know these multi-liners that you can buy. So this is a Copic multi-liner black in 0.3 and it's water resistant as well, which is why I'm using it. If you use the Stabilo, these ones, which I usually use, these aren't water resistant. These are good for finishing up anything on a page when you're not going to put water on it. You can, you can buy them on the, I think the coloured pencil shop might do them. I'm pretty sure. So if you like these like me, these are great when you're using a normal average pencil piece. But if you're using any water, any paint, anything with water on, they will run like mad. So you're better off using one of these fine liners that you can grab, like a Copic multi-liner, or I think the Staedtler ones. You can use those as well. So I'm going to go in with the details on the little squirrel. I'm going to try and hold him up as much as possible so you can see. So on this little guy, he's got like details on his tail. So whilst her hair is drying, like just in short, sharp little strokes, I'm just going to add those little lines in. So it's just literally to highlight the tail. Susie, there's not in this set, but there is ways to mix them like we did on my watercolour stream. So we can mix colours to make a skin tone. So that's what I did. Like the apricot, the granite rose and the cream were perfect together and they made skin tone. So we did the browns. But yeah, mixing watercolours can get the achieved result anyway. So I'm not too fast on that. Okay, so that is none that stands out unless you make it, kind of thing. Okay, so on this little fella, he's got his nose and his eyes and then these little details on his tail. I'm just going to do that. So he's got his little details added in like he has on this one. So it just is the same. And on her scarf, I'm just going to reapply the 2 lines. And then on the tops, I'm just going to put, no, I'm not. I'm going to add like a stitching just along the bottom. Just like a little stitching effect. Oh my goodness, that is brilliant, Leah. Yes, that's an amazing deal because I did not get them for that. Yes, that is an amazing deal for the 40. Yeah. Okay, so now I think while our hair's drying, we might do some of the skin. So we need to mix now. This is our mixing part. So we grab our palette and And on our palette, we're going to mix some colours up and make a skin tone. Okay, so on her skin here, she's got really rosy cheeks, some pinks and reds in, and she's quite pale. Yeah, Leah, that's amazing. Nab that up if you can. They've got them in the range. Oh, they've gone up in the world. Okay, so God, I need to get out more and find these things. I just go on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to grab this palette. I'm going to get Granite Rose. I'm also going to get some apricot and some cream. Make a really quite a pale skin tone up. Okay, so Granite Rose, which is 493. Good amount down. Then I'm going to get some apricot. Oh my God, Honor, if you can get that, that's great. Leah, go and grab it. Honestly, if you can get them at that price, you are laughing. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix that all together a minute. I think it needs a little bit more of the Granite Rose. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm just mixing up these colours. Yeah, we're all as bad as one another. Okay, a bit more cream. So I'm just mixing together until you got the desired result. Apricot, which is 041, Granite Rose, which is 493, and cream, which is 491. And this is just going to go down as a base. So again, don't have too much of a wet brush, and just head on in there for your base first. All over. Don't worry about, you know, shading yet, because you're going to add and drop in colours, but just a base first. Just base it all over. You're going to add details after. Just go on in there. Just add down. It just has just to start with a very pale undertone, and then we'll start shading her up with colour and adding in colour. So as I said, I'm trying to do this as much as possible with just Supracolors and have that watercolour effect and that painted, you know, that painted look rather than pencil. I'm trying to get that going rather than pencil look. Okay, so that's Granite Rose, Apricot and Cream. That's our first base coat in. What of these, Lena? And hi, Lena. Same Honor. I don't think mine is just falling out with me permanently. Permanent falling out we've had. See, the tin of 18 is £30 on Amazon. My goodness. You've got a great deal there. Okay, now I've picked up Indian red, and I'm going to put in some cream. So I'm just going to show you at the side. So tiny bit, you see how much I've applied? Cream and Indian red there. You don't want too much. And then I want to drag some of that into apricot. So we'll add some of that in because it's quite pinky. So this is, forget that one, that's a bit too bright. This is the desired look I was going for. It's like a pinky apricot. It's apricot and Indian red more with cream in it. So that's the colour I was going for. Hi, Dev. How are you doing? So just kind of like on her cheeks here, she's got this really cute red going on. So we're going to start dropping that in. And under here on her cheeks, so we're just it's not going to be, we've got to add our shading in more as we go along. So we're just getting colours down to start with. So add a bit more of that pink in there. Wipe off and drag the pigment, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. So just drag pigment in. So just into the cheeks, add a little bit more of the pinky bit under her cheek, and then it's got on this side, she's got more going above her eyelid. So I'm going to bring some of that pinky colour up Just kind of, can you see? We're going to add that in. So just like bringing some of that pigment of the pink and that mix that we've just made up and along the side of her face there. Just a little bit more under here. And just now I need to add a little bit more shading. So I'm going to get a bit of the, oh, thank you, Susie. Now I'm going to get Bordeaux Red, I think it's 085, and a bit of apricot, and I'm literally doing a line of each. So you see on the palette, that is a line of each. So it's more sort of like pink. Now I'm going to get some more apricot in, because you just want to just bring that colour down and mix it. Just add some of that in. Just kind of go with that. Okay. You definitely, Lena, give them a go. Have a go with them. And then along this, like, I'm going to just put my arm in the camera for a second. So along the lines at the top, I'm just going to bring in some of that pigment and leave it a little bit more visible. So, and then back to that paler skin tone that we made up in the beginning, and add and drop that in. And just kind of just mix it as we go along. So it's, you know, just very little by little. It's just small amounts by small amounts. And then again, now that that's dried a bit more, add some more of that pink colour that we added. So that is this one here we added, which was this one was the Indian red, apricot and cream, but it's more Indian red. And that will be more of the pinker tone. Wipe off, add in, wipe off and add in, so that she's got really quite rosy cheeks there. So it just all adds up. And then on her arms over here and her neck, she's got more of that pink. So I'm going to bring this one that we got here. I'm going to bring that in and under the chin. And drag back a bit and just take off some pigment as you go along. Take care, Leah. And then under the arms here, wipe off and in, wipe off in there, and just keep doing that until you got the desired look that you're going for. See, because the cheeks will be like a painterly effect. It looks watercolored, whereas the rest of her, you kind of just want to see where it's going to take you. So this is the Bordeaux red, I think it is, and on the palette I'm just going to add a little bit more of that in. You just want to touch, it just gets enough pigment on the watercolor palette so that you can grab it off. So with the arms, I'm just going to add that at the bottoms, so you've got a bit of a frame of the arms, and then that really pale pigment that we've got, we can add that in as well, and just keep mixing between the two. So we made the pale pigment up initially, and then we've also got the red. So hi Shara, how are you doing? So we're adding that up. Oh, sorry about knocking the camera. We're adding that up and dragging that pigment up, so she's got that look. Now we're going to come back down to her legs while we're waiting for everything else to dry. And you know, again, we've got this pale pigment that we initially got. We want some more of that. I'm going to go with a second coat over the legs, so they're a little bit more standing out. So again, just over this leg again. And now we can add our darker, she's got knees, on her knees she's got a pinky effect. So I'm going to grab some apricot, trying to do this all in the camera. Take care, Christy. And then we're going to bring in some Indian red with the apricot. See what that comes up quite pink. So now I'm going to bring in some cream, and that will dull it down a little bit. It's still pinky, but it's more of a nectar. Oh, thank you, April. Have a good night. I hope your meeting goes well. See you soon. Okay, so adding into her knees. Her knees on the other one has got like pink. So wipe off, drag pigment, wipe off, drag some more pigment until it blends. And that's all we're doing. We're sort of getting some of that pigment off. And then adding that, dropping that into her knees, wipe off, drag the pigment, wipe off again. If you want to add any more, grab some more. And just keep repeating that pattern until you have the desired result that you're looking for. How do you work out how to mix colours? I just go by eye, if I'm honest. I just test things out and go by eye. So I know by this, at the moment, I'm using this. So I'm looking at this one and looking at the colours, apart from the dress and the scarf, that I'm heading for. I look at the pencils that's in front of me and think, well, maybe 2 of them will drag pigment down that I'm looking for. So try it on your palette first. And this palette enables you to mix so that you can see what you're looking for. And then you can drag that stuff in. And then you haven't got a disaster to start with because you might not have done it the first time around on the colours that you're looking for. That makes sense. But it just is by eye. You kind of, I have in my head, I know the colour that I'm looking for and I just head for that. So it's just having that vision. No, I'm not, Cheshire. I'm not. I've never done anything artim jobs or anything like that. I just enjoy it. Okay, so this is kind of looking almost the same. Although I need to drag a little bit more of a darker tone in there. So I'm going to grab with the pencils, have you used any inspiration like on Google? Hiya Hope, and then just had a test on a bit of paper before you put it on your image? Just have a go like that. It just is time and practice. How long have you been colouring, Yeti? So I'm going to get some burnt sienna and I'm going to get some granite rose. Let's see what that makes, if that's the tone. Yeah, okay, just a bit more granite rose. So that's more of a browny red, what I'm looking for. So can you see that colour? Yeah, see, honestly, just time. That's all it is. Oh, yay, Ashley, I'm happy for you. Hi, Kathleen. So now I'm going to add some of that. It's like a clay colour into her cheeks, and I'm going to drag some of that colour along. So that's more of like a clay. I'm just going to give her a bit of a mask along her nose. Let's turn that up. Yeah, it's just time. And I think everyone who's been colouring for a long time will agree. Just time and sitting, practice, not even practice, playing. I like to call it playing. As long as you're happy. It doesn't have to be spot on, but if that's what you're heading for, just it's time. Okay, so I'm just making a bit of a mask here. And then I'm going to drag some of that more of a clay. It's like a clayed rose, this colour. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit more of a shadow around the head, and then we can go in with some details on the hair, and then we can do the book and the flowers, and then she will be more or less done. Okay, so I'm happy with that at the moment. So wait for the face to dry. Do you mind if I just grab a bit more Ribena because I've drunk mine? Oh, I'm just going to lay that flat a minute. I'm just going to grab. Take care, Kenny. That's okay. Have a good day. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm just going to grab a juice, which is my kitchen is next to me. Because I'm trying to talk you through what I'm doing so that I don't lose you all. And then, yeah, I'll try and like put it through the stream to you, Yeti. Okay. Oops. 2 seconds. That's better. Mouth is dry. Right, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, it is playing. That's what I call it. Just playing with it. Play around, see what you can like create, and yeah. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Grace. Yeah. Oh, right. Let's see what we can do now. So I think until our hair is dry, actually, we can do the hair. So I'm going to get some black and some of our black and our umber. They're the two colours I'm grabbing from the Supracolors before we move on to more watercolouring. We can like do bits and finish off as we go along rather than leaving it till the end. So with this, I'm trying to put you at a tilt so that you've got a good view, and then turn the brightness down. There we go. Okay. As long as it's good in your screens. There we go. So I might need to sharpen this actually. Yeah, because I need a sharp point for the hair. Yes, Till. So just gonna get a sharp point on these Supracolors. I hate sharpening these because they're watercolors and I feel like I'm sharpening away the pigment. Okay, so this is umber in 043. You don't have to grab another set of colors or another brand because the Supracolors are just as good dry as they are wet, which I love about them. So I'm just going to add some detailing in, very minimal in strokes. It's gone bright again. Hold on. Just in strokes so that it's getting some detail. It was better on the Neo colour tin, wasn't it? I'll get the Neo colour tin again. It's weird. You move and it just does the lighting all the time. Okay. That's better. I have to do it that way. Okay, so it keeps like messing about with the lighting every time I move it. Sorry about that, everyone. So I'm just doing short, sharp strokes from the root, just at the root, and just to add a little bit more depth into her, really. And then with the wisps, like I usually do, I usually just add a few in myself. I don't know if you can see that. If I do it with black, you might be able to, but I just add a few in, and then underneath here, I'm just going to shade. This is the ivory black and the umber. So just to add a few in, and then we'll add her little details in her face. So just from the root, oh, thank you. It just adds a little bit of detailing. We've already got detail there, but we can always add some more. So we've got some wisps going on, so we can add to those. We don't need to do too much because the watercolor look is actually what I'm aiming for. So as long as we've got some shading that just minimal, and then back to my umber. You can go with the waves. The waves are already there. The lines are already there. So you just add to that and just kind of pick it up as you go along. Yeah, it's blowing like a storm outside, isn't it? I know some of you guys, did you, Andrew, was it Florida you said? I know somewhere in America has been hit by storms. It's really windy here. Okay, so we just add in some details in. Andrew has fallen to sleep. I was just talking to him to ask him because he was watching the news and he's fallen asleep, bless him. Okay, so. And then with her face, these little eyelashes, I'm just going to add in. Hi, Janet. Oh, let's hold that down. So these little eyelashes here, I don't want to add those in with pen because I want those a little bit softer. So I'm just reapplying those little lashes in with the ivory black. And this is still the Supracolors. I'm not changing. And her little eyebrows. So if you can see, but they're very, very small. So we're just going to reapply those in as well with the tiniest little amount of stroke because they are so small. So just enough to add the details back in her face. And then her little nose here, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of shading with the black. Just around, just on the face to like shadow. Just a little bit, not much. Tiny bit. And then under her neck here, just a little bit under there. Just enough to sort of make it stand out. Yeah, I know we've got storm warnings over here. And I didn't watch the news, Andrew did, and now I wish I had. Because I didn't pay any attention. I don't know if anyone's the same as me. Sometimes not watching the news is a good thing because it never really has anything great on it. And when you're in a good mood, you don't want to watch it because you see all the bad stuff. Okay, so this is just ivory black and I'm literally going in with just some shadows. So I'm quite happy with that. I don't want to add, I'm going to put one coming over her face a little bit. Don't want to add too much. There we go. Just enough in there to like add a bit of detail, but not too much. Okay, so with her face, it's done. Her hair's done. So now we can move on to the book, the flowers, and she's done. Then we've got the mail, and then we've got that part of it, testing, and the fun as well. So I'm quite happy with how this is coming out so far. So we've used this as reference, changed a little few things, but for the most part, we've kind of stuck to what we're looking for, which is to make it look like it's the opposite picture. Now I'm going to get the golden ochre. I'm going to keep that brown as well. So we'll go for a couple of browns on that. And we need the black. I'm just going to put away some. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so I'm going to put in, hold on. I'm trying to do this as I go along so that I've got them all sort of put, sorry about my arm. The colours put back together kind of thing. Thank you, Robin. How are you doing, Robin? Robin B. We got 2 Robins now in the house. Your namesake, Robin. I love that though. I love seeing people from all over. Okay, so with these little flowers, there's greens that we got as well, but I'm going to do a mixture, I think, of golden ochre and light ochre. And for the book, I think the under part of it will be cinnamon, and then we're going to drop in some umber and some black ivory in that. So we've more or less got our colours now. He's proud of himself. Oh, I love dogs. They're just amazing. Bless Frank. For anyone wondering, Honor's dog Frank is a black pug. He is so cute. So shall we go for the book? The book undertone is going to be cinnamon. We'll get that on there first. So we just go all over. All over it. Oh, bless him. He's so cute. He really is. Okay, if Andrew starts snoring, I'm going to have to wake him up and tell him to go head on in the bedroom, bless him. Okay, so cinnamon is 055. And we're just going to lay the entire lot of this down, but very, very lightly. We don't need a heavy coat of this. And then I'm going to get my, before I put my darker colour down, I'm going to get my umber and I'm going to go into this sort of spine bit, can you see? I'm going to go into the spine of it and bring that over the cinnamon, but only by a small amount because you're going to drag that anyway. So before I put any details in, and then underneath, we can add some other colours in if we need to, like the yellow, but I'm just going to put that. So just like this, nothing special yet. Hi, Katrina, how you doing? Okay. And then I'm going to get my cloth up here so you can see the dip and drag technique. So I'm going to start from the outer part with the cinnamon and put that as like shaded light area. But then I want to bring some of that pigment over. So I'm going to wipe and drag. So wipe every time and drag. Now with this part, I'm going to wipe again and drag that colour over. But I want it to like merge and blend rather than be very pronounced. I want it to blend in. So I'm going to wipe it off as I go along. And that's what gives that look. If you wipe it, you can drag out and blend out and it blends. Then if we need to come back, hi Faithful, how you doing? If you drag that pigment into the other one and you wipe as you go along, this is just our first coat. We're going to go back in. It starts it off, but you've got to blend and it doesn't merge all as like one big mess. It will be a blend of it and you can see the difference. Then you can come back in with your other colour. So I'm going to go back in with my dark and I'm going to bring that umber in and sort of drag that colour down. And this is just kind of the technique that I go with as I go along. I just sort of bring that down and out. So I'm going to bring some of that colour back in. Now I might want a little bit of a reddy tone to it. So I can always add in like a bit of russet. And that can add another dimension to it and add just a little bit of a red tone. Just drop that in. Just drop. And then come back to your cinnamon and just play around with your colours. So I will take that off so you can see, but now you can see the technique that I use and I'll talk you through it. So adding on pigment, wiping off a bit and just wait for that to dry now. So this side again, I'm going to bring some russet in, drag some in. Andrew, thank you, sorry about that. I have to tell you. Andrew, go and lie down. So I'm going to bring some cinnamon. And then just drag that off, drag the pigment down. Yeah, I think it might be Deb's. That's okay, you look away. So I'm going to get some of that umber. Drag that in. Now, this spine, I want to be just umber. So I'm going to bring that umber in. Just like an old age book. No, can you hear him? Go and lie down. If you're tired, I'll come and wake you up in an hour. Go on. They're all saying night night, Andrew. Okay, so just bring more of that umber. This is umber, all Supras. I'm not using anything else. Okay. That kind of just muddles in a bit. Just bring some under here as well. So you see, like it's sort of like an age book. Now that's a flower there, so I'm not going to do that. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. We try. We try. Okay, so I'm going to get some ivory black. I'm just going to drop that in. Wipe off. Drag some pigment. And then underneath this part here, I'm just going to add some more of that ivory black and drag that down as well. And just keep with that sort of pattern. So I want it to be a bit darker, but I have to wait for it to dry a bit before I add any more layers. It kind of keeps with that same pattern. Thank you so much, Katrina. So can you see it kind of just is all coming together a bit now? So that looks all like an aged book. Now we're going to add a little bit of ochre into this part. So you know this label. This one is ochre 035. I'm going to add that in. And then on the edge of it, I'm going to put a bit of that ivory black, just a touch, just a little touch of it. Oh, thank you, Mia. So just add some in. I'm going to go from the outside. Sort of put that black in so that it adds, but you don't want it sort of oversaturating that yellow. Just enough to show. So it's just like a dirtied old sort of, thank you, Lisa. Does that make sense? Like a dirtied kind of old book. That's what I really wanted, that look. So I'm going to add a touch of Bordeaux Red in 085. Just drop it in a bit. That mottled look on a book. Just that. You drop it in a bit. It just makes it a bit mottled, like an aged, old mottled book. Just keep going with that. And then wipe off and blend that in. And I don't know if you can see, but it gives it like a mottled look. And then back to one more time, umber. Get a good amount on. Just add that into that spine. Just ages it up a bit. Oh. Yeah, so it's right, Cheshire. I mean, sometimes it's too much, isn't it? So I'm sorry that you had that. Are you okay now? Have you healed? That's really serious. I'm sorry that you suffered that. I'm wishing you very good wishes your way. Okay, so if I zoom out, and you can kind of see from there, if I zoom out, it's like an old book. Now, don't forget, things look a bit different when they're dry. Now we need to go round all these flowers. That needs to dry off a bit. So when it's dry, I'll add a few detailing in with the pen. And yeah, it's number 2, and we're going to be finished soon, Faithful. It's the second session, and we're nearly done. So this only needed 2, which is good. So we're going to go for the ochres on this, I think. We're going to go for golden ochre and light ochre on the flowers. And if we need to add in any shading, we'll add a little bit of the brown. But I don't think we need to be fair. So we'll see and evaluate where we are in a minute. We'll just have a go first on this. Okay, so these little tiny flowers all around. Yeah, I know, we're quick. These are quite quick watercolours. It's surprising. I didn't think it would be. Right, so I'll zoom you back in one more time and then we're done, really. We'll get the flowers done. So I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to go for golden ochre in 033, and I'm just going to add a little bit in. Hold on, everyone, I'm flickering. That's it. So 033, and all these little ones, you only need to colour half of the flower, so just half, because you're going to drag pigment. So just half of it will be enough. So half a flower, drag pigment, and we're just going to go with that pattern. So just half a flower, drag a pigment. Hi, Helly. So half a flower, just keep with the flowers, then we'll add all the details in after. Okay. I might do the second, like open up another stream, do it that way on the second part, which is going to be the next session. And when I put the title in, you'll be like, oh, that's the Happy Mail. And I'll be like, yep. Okay, because we've got a testing stream on that as well. See what we can do with those. Okay. So I think we'll separate, because this can be just part 2 of this, and then we'll open up another stream straight away, directly after on that. What do we think? Thank you, Andrea. Oh, thank you, Katrina. Bless you. Faithful, honestly. I'm the same. I look at things, I'm like, yeah, I don't need any more. That goes straight flying out the window to Timbuktu. When you see something that you genuinely really want, it just, yeah, no, not happening. That's why I don't even tell myself anymore. It's like, whatever, Sam. Thank you, Susie, my lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, so just bringing up to this, and as I said, you only need half a flower, and then we'll bring the other, if we need to, we'll bring the other yellow in. So I'm going quite hard with this because it's going to bring some pigment down anyway. We might even need the other, if I'm honest, and just bring some cream in. We'll see what we can do with this first. So On some of this, I'm going to bring in now the light ochre, just a touch of it. Just add a little touch of this. This is no method to this. You're just doing a little bit of the flower on each one. Right. Now, fun bit. Now we're going to drag the pigment. These, just drag some out, wipe along. I'm going to show you as I'm going. Just drag it along. And if we need to go in any more, we will do. So drag that pigment out. And then the thing is, if you'd overdone this with pigment, you won't have that watercolor blend look. So it's good to just do half the flower, I think. That's what I'm sort of learning as I go along. If you do half the, hiya, Casey. Thank you. If you do half a flower at a time, so I'm just going back in with my light ochre. If you do half a flower at a time, you can drag pigment out. So that's what we're doing. So you want a relatively wet brush, but not oversaturated. Just wet enough to drag that colour outwards. Just keep going with it. And we can always add details in with Poscas and all that stuff after. So we just drag out and just put that in. You see that? That's available on Amazon soon. I know, it's gone quick, hasn't it, Pickle? Oh. So what you were working on this coming weekend, because we're on Friday, we're at the weekend really, after you all finish work, and what you were working on this weekend, anything new or old whips? Oh, I'm not in your screen, I'm sorry. Are you working on something new? You're picking something new for the weekend, or are you going to work on something old? So do share. So we're just going to bring to these as well. I love, like, the weekend, you see everyone's posts more because they've got, you know, time at home, and I love to see what everyone's sort of working on over the weekend. Old whip swatching, yet something new, more during recent Halloween, more doing some tomorrow. Susie did a body colour. Oh, nice. Nice. So I'm just going to get some off the tip of that. And this is the golden ochre. I'm just gonna, if you haven't put enough down, you can always grab some off the tops of the tips of the pencil and just like mix. Just add that in. I was thinking, I've done a body colour recently with Victoria, the Serene one. We doubled up and did that as a body as well. But I really want to do like a group, if you're interested. A group one in Serene soon. So if anyone on the channel here wants to join me, we could do like in our own time, not on the channel, but like subscribers and, you know, anyone really. So if anyone's got Serene and you fancy joining in with a picture, and we can all post it together over on Instagram when you were done, that would be nice. How do you feel about that? Group colour. Do one in Serene. So I'll show you which one I was thinking about. It will be a challenge probably, but I think it would be amazing to see everyone's coloured pictures. So I really want to do like a group, but in, you know, not on, I'm not going to be doing that one on the channel, just in my own time with you all. And just do like a subscriber and me colour along. Serene's amazing though. I absolutely love that book. And if anyone has got it and you're intimidated by it, please just dive on in. You'll have so much fun. Okay, so just like that, that's, you know, don't want to add too much more into that. So I'm going to grab now I'm going to add a little bit more just red into that. Yeti, it will be in Serene, my one. I'm going to fancy doing a Serene one. So now I'm just going to get English red, and not too much of it. I just want to add a little touch just in places. I'll show you. So just on the edge, I'm just going to add into the middles of these. So just a touch. It kind of merges in with the dog and the scarf. Oh, Connie, dive on in there, girly. You'll have fun. You'll have fun. Okay, so just add those in, and then we're done on her. We've got to add our details, and that's it. You know, we've done her pretty quick, and she's come out with that watercolor look I was aiming for, which I'm pleased about because I've not got massive experience in watercolors. So this is just like this is more of a learning curve for me as well. So I'm going to add just a little bit into there because look, I missed out on my scarf. I'm just going to drag that a bit. Oh. It is. No, I'm not going to lie. It is quite a daunting book. It is. But it's beautiful. Stunning. I'll show you which one I was really wanting to do as a group colour along. And there's no time limit. The only thing, should we do it for the month of November? So if we do like November, you've got the entire month of November to do it. Should we do it that way? Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. We could do that for the month of November as a group colour in our own time. And that is her done. I just need to add the details in. Thank you, Connie. Should we do that, guys? We could just let that dry and we'll put our details on. We need to add our detailing on. So for a second, let me just move that aside. We grab Serena a minute. And if we do November and we've got the entire month of November to do it, the one that I was going to pick because I've wanted to do her for ages was this one, the warrior one. I really fancy doing her like a tribal warrior. And I don't know if you all fancy it with me. And we've got the whole length of November to complete her. Should we do this one? Because this one's not as daunting as something, say, where's the other one? Like that, for instance. That one has got so much more detail, will be there forever and a day, and that can be daunting to a lot of people. So I really wanted to do as a group colour in our own time over on Instagram. Casey, no, it's on Etsy. You can bet Serene by Nicholas Filbert is over on Etsy. Yeah. So we've got all of November. So put a sticky tab on it and we'll do it as a group colour along. And I really want to do her. And I'm going to do her with like, I'm going to do her like a tribal princess. Oh, bless you, Pickle. You'll be fine. So I am on a mission to finish this book and I am doing this one in my own time as well. So let's quickly wrap this lovely little lady up because she's almost done. She's almost done. So now with your detailer, which will be your fine liner. So we'll grab our we will grab our Copic multi-liner in 0.3. 0.3 is a nice small one, so it's not going to make too big a lines. Hiya! Tammy, what on the other one? That's for us in our own time, and it will be you do anything you want. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, it's just the tribal one. The tribal one, but we'll do it for November. Thanks, Mum. So this now, I'm just going to put in some details on the book. So on the spine, I'm going to do like at the bottom and the top, I'm going to do like these little, can you see? Just like little sort of lines, not too much. Oh, let's take that down a bit so you can see. And then on here, I'm going to add in just some like stars. So just like small details just to add onto the book. Yeah, Tammy, just in our own time, any pencil, just as long as we do it as a big group colour along, I think that would be fun. We could do that over on Instagram if you've got Instagram, or over on Facebook. You can tag me in over there as well. Okay, so we just go around this. So it will be for November. So if I put that as a note, hold on. So November, it's on our own free time. It's a subscribe. We'll do it as a subscriber or subbies, and channel buddy color. Yeah. We'll call it our body colour. We'll call it, let's call it, we need a name for it. So channel body colour. We need a hashtag for it. Should we call it, oh, what can we call it? We need a colour along name. Faithful, no. Yeah, we'll call it, okay. Let's call it Buddy Serene November, yeah? Should we call it Buddy Serene November? Or Nov Serene November. We'll call it no. Yeah, we'll do it all together. I think that'll be fun. Okay, let's put a sticky note on that. Hi, Loretta, how are you doing? Yeah, let's do that. So that one, before we add our details, we've got to finish off this. We'll add, hold on. Let's do it. I'm excited for that one. Hold on, guys. Oops. So we'll, let me zoom you out. Okay, so we will put this one here as our body colour for November, and it's subscriber and channel body colour, and we'll call it Buddy Serene November. So over on Instagram and over on Facebook, we'll do this as our big group body colour. You've got the entire month of November to complete it. So no rush. So that will be good. I'm excited for that now because I love that book. Right, let's finish the minor details on our little lady, and then we can open up another stream, and then we're going to get into what you're all probably anticipating, like what she got, what's she got now. Okay, so I'm just adding, this is like a little bracelet, and then just a little eyelashes. I'm just going to add a little bit in. Okay. Yeah, I think that is a nice sort of one to go on, isn't it? And then we'll do some stitching along the scarf. So just like a very small stitching effect. That would be good to do that in our own time together. That would be nice. And that's it, I think. Let's put some other laces on. Let's put our laces just on there. Let's put a lace. So just like little laces on there, and I think that is more or less it. I'm going to add just a few wisps with the fine liner. There we go. And then she's complete. Hi, Amanda. I am, if you put another one, sorry. Yeah, but it won't have November on it, so we could just keep it, and then it will be November anyway. Okay, so that is our two-part Forest Girl complete, and we have more or less kind of mimicked the other picture, except we changed a couple of little details. So we changed the dress, and we made her dress. Let's bring this light over here. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So we've changed the dress colour and done it a bit more of a lighter blue. Thank you, Amanda. And we've used all Supracolors. So that was, you know, a task because it was a new thing. And then we have changed the scarf colour. And that is it, really. We've more or less kept to the same patterns. And I'm really quite happy with her. I quite like how she's come out because it looks like a watercoloured effect to me. So I'm quite happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is shut this stream. Bless you, Sammy. Shut this stream, and literally I'm going to be 2 minutes. I'm reopening a new stream. You'll see from the thumbnail and the title what the Happy Mail is. So we're going to open a new stream in 2 minutes. So I'm going to see you over there. It's a double stream day, and the next stream is going to be, you'll see. So I'll see you in a minute, and then we've got some more fun and testing, and yeah, we'll see you like literally in 2 minutes. And for those of you watching back, there's another stream to open. So take care, everyone. See you in a minute. Bye.